simply having a wonderful Xehanort time.
Welcome to LGBT+VG, where me and other friends who are of LGBT persuasion have discussions and headcanons about what characters in which video games are LGBT. We're not exactly experts on the matter, we're mostly just a bunch of gay, bi, pan dudes who are LGBT, just talking about which characters we'd like to think are LGBT. And we're not really taking this seriously unless there's like proof in canon whether or not a character is actually bi, gay, or what have you. Welcome to the LGBT+VG podcast, where me and friends discuss who in a game series is LGBT and beyond. And beyond is very appropriate in this series. We are talking Kingdom Hearts. It's me, Cheese, your main creature of the hour. Say hello, Smash.
Hello.
And say hello, our guest, Kaze.
Oh, hi. How are you?
I'm not a guest? Wow, get fucked, you little bastard.
Oof. Shots fired.
Oh, man.
Great start.
Anyway, we are doing Kingdom Hearts, and what's important to note about Kingdom Hearts is that there's quite a few characters, but we're not doing all of them because we don't want to deal with the idea of having to talk about whether or not Mickey Mouse is gay or not, or talking
Oh,
or
100%.
talking about Sid Final Fantasy VII.
We have to talk about how Goofy is the ultimate power bottom, though.
At some point, but not today.
So, specifically, the characters and what we think their sexualities are?
Sexualities, sometimes, depending on the energy that you get from them, sometimes gender as well.
True. Okay.
All right.
So do we want to start off by saying what our experience levels with Kingdom Hearts is, so that way people know we're qualified and don't yell at us in the comments below?
Yes.
People are going to yell at us
below
anyway.
that will
You act like I get enough people listening and watching
Exactly.
to get comments.
You never know. One day.
Anyway, I'm a Kingdom Hearts expert. I've been playing since 2003. Please let me off.
You've played, but how many did you play? And how much do you, have you read every single Ansem report? And
I have played,
got all the crowns?
I do get all the crowns. I did read every answer report. I've played all of them
Nice.
except for Recoded, because no one gives a shit about Recoded, and the mobile game, because I don't have time to play fucking 15,000 stages just to get a little crumb of plot.
Jeez, how much of Kingdom Hearts have you played?
I've played 1, 2, a little bit of 3, a little tiny bit of Chain of Memories, both GBA and PS2. Played the entirety of 358 and a little teeny tiny bit of Birth by Sleep. So I know generally the people.
I feel like I'm a nice in-between of you two, which is really cool. So I've played a lot of games. I haven't beaten them all, but I've completely beaten 1, Chain of Memories, 2, 3, and then I'm on the Dream Drop Distance as well. 358 over 2, Birth by Sleep, and I didn't even touch Recoded. I'm like you. I don't believe that handwritten journals can get viruses, so I stopped caring immediately.
So let's begin this with quite possibly the most difficult conversation we're going to have in this entire podcast. Let's talk about our boy Sora. Now,
Bottom.
no, we need to establish first of all, Sora's been through so much, and Sora's
We've seen him grow up.
We've seen him grow up literally before our eyes and grow down before our eyes in one game.
Yeah. Why'd he get shorter in 3D?
Don't worry about it. Now, I am going to start this with a very specific take, and I need you to follow along. Sora himself is bi with a male preference. Not only that, he is quite possibly also in a polycule with Riku and Kairi, because I cannot literally imagine him without them being together in a relationship of some sort. That is my take.
I will go ahead and forewarn, there's going to be a lot of references to polycule.
It depends. It depends.
I definitely
Depends on
have
the
at least
person
one
and the
more.
Ooh, one.
I definitely have at least one.
Man, this-
Or it could be a couple more.
Oh,
But-
ooh.
Whoa! Keep the mystery.
But- I agree. I'm shocked you did not cite that one cutscene from KH2.
No, people who know, and I'll just talk about it right now since you brought it up. So for context, for people who have not played Kingdom Hearts 2, or at least gotten to this part, which is actually quite late
The last
in the game.
world, like the last half hour.
There is a scene where Sora finally, after like a year and a half or so of not seeing Kairi or Riku, meets up with Kairi for the first time. She immediately gives him a hug and is like, "Oh man, I missed you. Oh, I can't believe I'm hugging." And he's very slowly hugging her back, and he's like, "Oh, this is
cool.
this is real. Oh, okay.
Girls.
I see. Okay." But the moment he sees that Riku is actually Riku, because he's kind of in disguise, don't worry about that.
No, he's not in disguise by choice. He kind of just takes on the form of Ant.
But the moment that Sora sees that Riku is Riku, he falls to the ground on his knees and starts crying about how much he missed him. This is why I say he has a preference for boys, because as much as he likes Kairi, there's something there with him and Riku.
Here's my hot take to add on to bolster onto your hot take. So at the very beginning of the game, Sora and Riku have this kind of rivalry over Kairi, right?
yes.
Boys will be boys, sort of thing, right? Gotta argue over the girl.
Uh-huh.
But then Sora, at some point during that prologue, Sora, something clicks in his brain. I think it's, that shot of him staring at Riku after you win the race, and he's like, well, it's just a ship name. That moment he looks at him, that's when it happens. I have that specific shot in my brain. But Riku is a little afraid of that. So that's why he turns to the dark side.
God.
Oh.
Man.
That's
So-
why he turned to the dark side.
That's why the Keyblade went over him to pick Sora, because the Keyblade was like, this kid's not confident enough. What about that guy over there? He knows what he wants. He likes it. Give it to him. And so the whole plot of KH1 is a metaphor for realizing your gay poly feelings.
Hit us with your counterattack, Kaze.
I have a counterattack because I've literally sat here and watched these scenes and analyzed
She's
them.
about to pop
and,
reflect.
I'm a little bit. So I'm gonna address this one at a time. So
Okay.
Cheese, you were saying, how in Kingdom Hearts 2, Sora sees Kairi and he's kind of like, whoa, and then with Riku he bursts into tears. And this is just my take. This isn't me being like, oh, this is real and you're wrong, whatever. But the way I've analyzed these scenes after so long was that, okay, at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1, Sora, and Kairi separate and she goes home. And so, Sora knows that Kairi is home. It's not like Riku in the sense of where he doesn't know where Riku is. He's trying to find Riku.
He knows
and
she's
bring her
safe.
home.
Oh, I see.
He knows
where
that
you're
she's
coming
safe, so it's not that he didn't miss her and he doesn't have feelings for her, because I'll get to that in a minute. But he's more shocked than anything of what are you even doing here? Oh, hello. But meanwhile, he sees Riku and he's like, oh my god, I've been looking for you and everywhere. I looked everywhere for you. He literally says that. He's bursting into tears of relief because I think it's that he knows, okay, now he and Kairi and I can go home. And I'm done. And not that I'm done, but you know what I mean? He accomplished his mission of finding his other thing. So
It's more of a
what I
relief.
it's relief, exactly.
Okay.
So let me, after making that point, I do want to say how I feel about the characters, because I should have started with that. But so okay, I think Sora is at least, it's hard to say because in the first game it's okay, he's straight, his whole thing with Kairi, he drew the thing on the rock and whatever. But that isn't to say I don't think Riku has like, I think he's questioned, you know, at certain times of like, is he just a friend? Or I think he did have a crush on Kairi. And, you know, the line is blurred with Riku in the sense of like, how much does he mean to me? But I think it's a really strong friendship. But I think Riku is into Sora 100%. 100%. Like, no question. I think he does the whole thing of like playing with Kairi, like trying to like win over Kairi just to
make him
get
jealous.
Sora's attention. Yeah, to get Sora riled up, to mess with him. But I don't think he feels that way about Kairi at all. I think he's totally 100% eyes on Sora. He gets so absolutely pissed that Sora makes new friends to where he's like, he's not spending time.
Oh, you're saying he's a yandere?
Oh, you're
a little bit.
Ooh, you're right. Oh, you're literally the reason why like Riku like dips further into the dark side is because Maleficent's like, look, Sora has friends that aren't you.
He's look at that, he's running around with the weird dog thing and the duck.
Also,
that duck is kind of hot. I'm gonna kick his ass.
A fun addition to my point that I just made that I literally just now realized. Remember when Riku just casually tossed a Palpu fruit at Sora and was just like, oh yeah, you won one.
You're right. Oh, you're
I just
so right.
thought of that too.
Oh,
so that only
God.
like further strengthens my point.
Take it,
idiot.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, the Palpu fruit is a thing in Kingdom Hearts. It's a little star-shaped fruit, but it's not
that only is relevant once.
But it's not a star fruit.
It's
not. But it's not an actual star fruit. No.
It is a star.
It is a star that is also a fruit. But
I could literally say that quote. If two people share one, their destinies will be intertwined. They'll be part of each other's lives, no matter what.
What?
I feel stupid. I love it, but it's stupid. That's how I feel about Kingdom Hearts. But so to wrap up my point, and this does go into Kingdom Hearts 3 spoilers, is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes.
No, spoiler alert, we're
Go
gonna
ahead.
spoil every Kingdom Hearts game.
Do it.
So literally, this is why I'm here, like, strong Sora Kairi ship, because they literally go as far as, like, they're legally allowed to in Kingdom Hearts, because it's like, you could tell that they set up this whole Palpoot thing to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna share one, and then in Kingdom Hearts 3, Sora and Kairi eat their own, like, they're not allowed to share one, like, Disney was like, no, you can't share food, that's for delinquents, you know, so, like, but,
That's
like, they
for
were
married
holding
Christian
hands.
couples.
It's pretty much, yeah. But, like, they each eat their own fruit next to each other. They hold hands. Sora says something to Kairi of, like, you make me feel strong, and she gets all blushy. It's just like, bro, 100%. To end my long argument, I think that Sora and Kairi are going to be a thing. They're like, it's already set up to be that. But Riku wanted Sora, and that you cannot convince me otherwise.
I really like the idea of Riku as kind of a tsundere, because I didn't even process that until you mentioned it.
He's
I'm like that absolutely
maybe not
fits.
so much now, but he
Well,
definitely.
yeah, that's his character arc. He learns how to not be a tsundere and accept and love his friends anyway.
Yeah.
Even if he can't be with Sora, he can still be happy for Sora.
For sure.
That's a really sweet thing.
So hey, I was gonna say, hey, let's move on to Riku, but we kind of just got a lot of that done.
I think we just covered Riku very extensively. I think we covered most of the, like, pretty much the entire Destiny Island series. What do you think about Kairi?
Yeah, no.
Is there anything about Kairi?
Yeah, Kairi is the only one we haven't extensively talked about.
Just like Kingdom Hearts.
She held hands and ran down a thing with Naminé, so there.
Someone thinks that. I know.
Oh, absolutely, someone thinks that.
Oh, they held hands.
I think it's not a romantic ship thing, but I do like the relationship of Kairi and Axel as kind of like big bro sort of thing.
Yes.
That's
really
cute.
I honestly
think
never like. It's just Sora, you know, like.
It's his story.
I think it's just Sora, man.
Yeah.
I always like, not even as much as Axel, but I kind of saw that she like saw Riku kind of like an older brother a little bit, but like I don't know, she just connected with Axel a lot harder. But yeah, I don't.
My
sense
favorite-
anything romantic.
My favorite ship is Kairi and Little Chef.
Oh wow!
I just tried to think of the
Wow.
weirdest ship I could possibly think of at the top of my
That
head.
you
You know
nailed
what?
it.
That's a real one.
I was gonna say some other dumb joke, but I forgot
I'm gonna-
because my brain just got infected.
I just watched Ratatouille before this podcast too, so like.
Hey, who's next? A very interesting character to talk about. Let's talk about Sora with extra depression, Roxas.
I love
That's the
Roxas.
perfect.
It's just Sora, but he's way more depressed.
They super like tried to do like a Roxas nominee Sora Kyrie thing because it's like, oh, Sora's gonna be with Kyrie, so that means
Yeah, but then
Roxas
Roxas and
was
Nominee
nominated.
never did anything together.
Yeah, they never did anything, and then Shion came around, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know, like
Who's
this
this
kind of
bitch?
But, yeah, well, yeah, but in the sense of, it's okay. She died immediately anyway, and then whatever.
Then no one cared. Until it's the
I
Kingdom
did a
Hearts
little
3.
bit.
I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
It's fine, you say, holding back tears.
But I can see how some people saw, you know, like Roxas and Shion's relationship to be more like a sibling kind of deal, because like they kind of like went through everything together. They were like, they literally both had a Keyblade. They were like siblings, you know what I mean? The most popular ship was with Axel, at least back
Which
in my
is-
day, which is
Which,
I
can
don't
I
know.
break off into a story?
Oh,
Absolutely.
okay, go for it.
So, Roxel is how I was introduced to shipping, because that's my sister's diehard
Oh man.
ship.
Roxel.
100%.
Oh boy.
Or Axis.
I was gonna say it's better than Axis.
Axis is a good name, but don't say it out loud.
That's the problem.
There's a couple scenes, you know, that's like,
And there are definitely a couple of scenes, but I just can't help.
I'm leaving the organization. No one would miss me. That's not true.
True.
I
I
would.
would.
We both had these scenes memorized. Jesus Christ, what's wrong with us?
Yeah, no, like especially Kingdom Hearts 1.
He made me feel alive, like I had a heart.
Oh god.
In regards to Roxas, it's just like part of me wonders why, like, or not why. Part of me wonders if he's like, I don't want to say asexual.
I was
but, like,
thinking Ace.
there was kind of a some like he wasn't really connecting in that way with really anybody.
Mhm.
Like the poor dude's going through so much crap
Mhm.
that it's like he doesn't even like his. I think his friendships with Axel and Shion mean more to him than any potential romance, but it just may not be something that he's just even thought about yet.
Yeah, it's just a process that hasn't really occurred to him.
It's like he could just be a big question mark.
Yes.
Like, I don't know, I'll figure it out later. I don't really see Roxas with anybody.
That's valid. Next, because of how this Wikipedia article is arranged, next is Terra.
Aqua.
Himbo.
Himbo, Aqua.
Himbo is assigned Himbo at birth.
I just don't see him with Aqua though. I see Aqua more as the team mom, trying to fucking look after her fucking idiot sons.
See, I see her as, you know, like Mama and Terra as Papa and Ventus as their adopted child, and they're both
I see-
trying to, like, keep him under control.
I see. No, because Terra also goes off the rails and just like starts helping the villains, and Aqua comes like Terra goes and helps all the villains because he's an idiot. Ventus goes after him because like I want a friend, and Aqua goes after him like, what the fuck are you two doing?
That is true. That's all I have on Terra and Aqua, to be honest. Like, that's just me personally, though. I've always shipped them together, and I'm just like,
Maybe Aqua has some sort of like respect crush on him, but Terra's also an idiot.
And he has a jealousy crush on her because she got the title of master before him.
Yeah, he has kind of like a, ugh, you.
He was Riku before Riku.
Yeah, basically, literally. He literally passed on this. No, that's during the Keyblade like passing thing with Riku. He passed on the Tsundere,
Yeah.
and that's
He
when
passed-
he became the Tsundere.
He passed on the Keyblade in his shitty behavior. Like,
Just like real parents.
yup. But yeah, Ventus. I'll move on to Ventus. He's a big question mark for me too. Him baby. Like, I don't know.
I
Him
think that's what
baby.
I think that's what we just have to. We have to diagnose him with baby. There's no other option.
Yeah.
Like, he's more baby than Roxas. And he's
Roxas
also, like,
is depressed
13 years
baby.
older than Roxas.
Yeah, well, frozen time, sleeping.
Who's next on the list?
I don't think we've talked entirely enough about Aqua.
Oh, true. I mean, I
Mom.
already said my opinion on that. Yeah.
Mommy.
Mom, but mom, not mommy. Some people might be, but not us.
Dark Aqua, absolutely.
God. Oh, I knew you were gonna say that.
Somebody out there would say, Dark Aqua could step on them.
I'm right here. Literally, that trailer for 3 came out and I was like, no, my favorite character is evil now. That's kind of hot.
Aqua, to me, seems like the kind of magical girl that I would love. One that, like, really loves her job, but her job is also very shitty and, like, just wears her out so much. And, like, she's just waiting to quit one day. Unfortunately, the world is never not in trouble.
Yeah.
She did get a break for a little bit, though.
It's for, like, 20 years, but she also turned evil.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that was not a break in the realm of dark.
Also, side plot, do you guys remember when she was shipped with Zach Fair?
Oh my god, you're right. Oh,
remember that?
Man, you're right.
Because he was in Olympus Coliseum.
Shipping Aqua with a completely different himbo.
Does that prove my point that, later on she could get with Terra?
You know,
she shipped with the himbos.
You know what? Hey, at least Zach Fair has, like, no problem with, like, his inner darkness.
Zach would be a good boyfriend. He would open the door for you.
Bring
I don't know what else
flowers.
I don't know what else good boyfriends do.
Take a bullet for you. Oh man.
Die for you.
Final Fantasy VII spoilers. This is a kind of difficult conversation. I don't know how we're gonna do this.
Goofy.
No.
Power bottom.
See, that's too easy. That's too easy. Instead, we have to do a much harder conversation. How do we talk about Xehanort?
I think we have to split it up into the different Xehanorts.
That's
Old
four.
Man Xehanort.
That's 4 of them.
I know. But there's Old Man Xehanort. There's Xemnas. There's Ansem. There's Young
Heartless.
Xehanort.
Well, the Ansem Heartless was a pedo for Riku.
Okay, let's. You know what? Let's just.
One.
Hold on. No. Stop for a moment. One single moment. Submit. Okay. Young Xehanort and Old Man, I want to say, are like 2 completely opposite ends of, like, the sexuality spectrum.
Like, he changed over time.
Yes. Like.
But change from what to what?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I think he and Ericus may have had a thing when they were younger.
Oh yes. Oh. You know, no. Okay, there. That's the through line. Young Xehanort was totally into dudes, but as he got older, he became more straight.
True, Darkness.
Oh my god.
I feel like Xehanort as he got older, because like I see where you're going with it, but I don't know. I don't even see him being straight when he's old. I think he's just so obsessed with his.
He just loses sight.
He loses sight of all of it and just like darkness. That's my sexuality. I want to be powerful darkness being. I still feel that like, because going back to Kingdom Hearts 3 spoilers, like he and Ericus like have a moment, like.
And that redeems him, and everything's fine.
No, but he got to disappear in the pretty sparkles with Ericus, and that, like, I don't know. That tells me they both live together in peace.
The fucking fake fart that he gets as an ending.
I do think something may have happened with Ericus, and like that.
That
like,
spurned him.
That never left him, but he lost sight of it with the whole darkness bit. But then, like in his final moments, when Ericus reveals himself, and he's like, "You sly fox," and it's just like, "Oh my god." It's like, oh, I love you, man, and then we get to, die and pass on together, and they're living in the afterlife, like
thanks,
just
Spark
the cute
Camel.
time. I'm here for it. Who was next on the character list?
We still have one more Xehanort. We still have to talk about Xemnas.
Oh god, the most beautiful voice. Can we just ship him with his voice?
Paul St. Peter is
God.
probably the best voice actor in Kingdom Hearts.
I will say,
Go ahead.
he does have a hot voice.
It's ridiculous. Other than Billy Zane.
Billy
who
Zane
played
was
Ansem
also
in
really
Part
good.
1, like those two voices are just like everybody can go home. Everybody can go home with those two.
Daddy,
Like-
yes.
I don't know. So with my opinion of Ansem, Heartless Ansem being a pedo for Riku, I'm almost here like, was Xemnas a pedo for Roxas?
No, I don't think there was any like emotion behind. No. I don't think there's any emotion behind him manipulating Roxas. He's just like, I want this goddamn kid with the key to do his fucking job.
Yeah,
True.
he was definitely Roxas's boss.
He was a
I think
businessman.
it's
Yeah, I believe that. But that voice. Ooh.
yes, please ship him with his voice. Yen.
No, ship me with his voice, please.
How do we talk about Naminé?
God.
Baby.
Yeah.
I mean, I mentioned earlier, like they kind of tried a thing with Roxas because
And then they just kind of did a thing with Riku.
I'm on the fence because I've at least at one point in my life I looked at Riku and Shion. I actually didn't mention this earlier, but like I looked at them before and I was like, okay, like I could see it, and I kind of feel that way about Riku and Naminé as well. Because I mean, at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, he went and picked her up from Hollow Bastion to take her somewhere. So like, I don't know, maybe something could blossom from that. Like maybe
He literally was like a knight in shining armor, like sticking out his hands, like, you're right, my lady.
It was so cute. So like, I kind of want to ship that. So I don't know, maybe that would mean Riku's bisexual,
Maybe.
or like I don't know, he was only gay for Sora, and then that didn't work out. And he's like, well,
We gotta do it. We gotta tackle this freaking, like, all-you-can-eat buffet of people. Let's talk about Organization 13.
Question, are we doing the nobodies or the people? Or both?
The nobodies, because we've only seen a few of the people. I think the people that we can talk about are very, like, I think of all of them, we gotta talk about maybe, like, 3
Lee.
or 4. Yeah, Lee's definitely one of them.
Lee, Issa, definitely Issa.
Ienzo,
Ienzo, yes.
and that's kind of it.
I'm looking at a picture of all of Organization 13 because it's too many. Like, I could tell you right now that like over half of them. I mean, we talked about Roxas. Did we talk about Shion?
No, she's coming.
Okay.
Okay, she's coming. Okay, but we'll disregard them for now. I remember at some point back when this was all new and like I was younger and whatever. I don't even know if ironically or not, but I shipped Larxene and Axel for a little bit. I look back on it and I'm like, it couldn't work because she's so abusive.
Yeah.
No, I was about to say, Axel would not be willing to bottom enough
Yeah.
for Larxene's pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
So because Larxene is a absolutely not bottoming for any fucking body.
No.
What is Kamidare? Where she like
Kami did it. It's
Yeah.
like the Tsundere Yandere, but like literally God complex.
God complex.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's Larxene.
I mean,
Yeah.
aren't there like hints that she had a crush on Marluxia? And that's why she helped him?
Not that I know of.
I don't remember.
I think there are like little hints like that, but nothing over explicitly stating. But I think there are. I think I remember reading that, like for some things. But Larxene, are we talking about Larxene specifically?
Yes.
I was. Okay,
Yeah, why
but-
not?
Why not?
Yeah, she's absolutely a fuck you type.
Yeah.
You play by her rules, or you get the fucking lightning.
Yeah. There's
Bitch.
no question on that.
100%
one-
bitch.
An easy one to talk about. Syx is definitely gay for Axel.
Yes.
No question.
Oh, let's get into the whole Issa
Issa and Ali, like the
Issa
same
Lee
thing.
thing. They're childhood friends. He's basically Riku 3.
Yeah.
He was Riku 3 because he got jealous that Axel made new friends and like did his whole bit. Like, no, he's 100% into Axel or Lee or whoever. Gosh, I'm looking at everybody else. I mean, Demix is gay.
Demix
Demix.
is gay.
Who? I can tell you.
Demix is a brat. Don't at me.
You know for a fact that he is.
Like, Larkstein would choke him and he'd thank her.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Can we ship Vexen with his science research, whatever?
I was gonna say, can we ship Vexen and his clones? He's kind of a narcissist.
Oh yeah, he's got clones. That's right.
Oh, what's his name? Luxord? Or Luxord?
Yeah. Who?
Ship him with his cards.
Yeah, there you go.
Or Jack Sparrow.
Because Luxord has nothing going on other than the fact that he likes to hang out with pirates and he's good at gambling.
And he throws that card that's totally not going to be a MacGuffin later in Kingdom Hearts 7.
Nope.
100%. Here's a good one. What do you guys think of Zigbar?
Zigbar? Oh,
Daddy.
man. Yes.
No, not Zigbar. I was thinking of Zaldin.
Really?
Zigbar.
Zaldin, you think?
Yeah, dude, he's buff. He's got, like, these good dreads.
Yeah, but meanwhile, I'm here like, yes, let's ship Zaldin with, like, a fucking straight razor. Shave those freaking horrible mutton chops off.
Zaldin, I could say he's asexual.
Yes.
Don't care.
Yeah.
Fair. I agree
No
with that.
interest in any of that nonsense.
Zigbar?
It's hard to say. Like, maybe...
Too old to be a brat.
But also still a brat. Like an
Yes.
old brat.
Absolutely.
I want to say that he's bi leaning way more on men because of like for some reason the way he looks as well as like his cool surfer lingo, that screams like that
Old
dude
bear?
is into dudes. Yes, old bear. Yeah.
Old hairless bear.
Oh my, who's left? Lexius?
Lexius,
Hey.
big strong
Hunk.
beef son.
Who doesn't care about anybody, so I'd throw him in ace too.
Yeah, throw him in the doesn't give a shit pile.
Zexion.
So I think Ienzo had a crush on Ansem the Wise.
Yeah, I could see that.
Otherwise,
That's more like his dad.
So that leaves... Who that leaves? Just Marluxia, right?
That leaves Marluxia, yeah.
Bye.
He could... I don't... Closet gay, maybe?
So hey, do you know the thing that Marluxia whispers to Sora to give him the count?
Why do they call it oven when you oven the...
No, it's actually a confirmed thing that he whispers.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
I missed this bit of lore.
It was a good friend of mine who's also really into Kingdom Hearts told me about this. He whispers to him, "Do you want to scream?" Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Am I hearing the sweat emoji again?
So, pedo for Sora, then?
No, I think he's just pedo, period.
Next on the list.
Do we talk about Shion?
I think we did a little bit.
Okay.
Or at least I mentioned it. I was like, I could see her with Riku briefly.
She's
But I don't
just, she's
know.
just kind of like a... Yeah, she's
Like,
just
not
baby.
baby.
Next, we have to talk about Ansem the Wise.
Daddy. Old daddy.
Old
Old
daddy.
dad. Grandpa.
Grip.
Gilf.
Old spice. Grandpa.
Old Gilf.
But no, I'm just calling it as I see it. I think this man's gay.
I mean, it's not so much that, like, I disagree. It's that I'm just like, literally, we don't know anybody who's known Ansem the Wise, like, other than, like, his apprentices or whatever. But it was just like, he's always been so, like,
He's
at
friends with
arm's
Mickey.
length with all of them.
Yes.
Yeah, like, yeah, I guess. But I don't know, a friend.
I have proof that he's gay.
Oh, well, what's it?
Voiced by Dracula.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. Done.
Christopher
He's
Lee.
gay.
There we go.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Next,
All right, next.
we have to talk about the bad boy. We have to talk about Vanitas.
Ooh, absolute. Put him in the Riku pile.
Yeah, he is a Riku.
He's very obsessed with his brother.
Yep.
And not that I support it or anything.
Nope.
But I don't know. I've gotten vibes that have made me uncomfortable with Vanitas. So
Oh yeah.
that tells you what I think. I just don't want to say it out loud.
Next, we have Ericus.
Gay for Xehanort.
Gay for Xehanort, yeah. He's just an old gay man.
Yeah, alright.
Me and Xehanort, we're gonna raise these kids.
And then...
I think maybe he was one of those guys who grew up like thinking he was straight, and then Xehanort came around and he like had his sexual awakening, and then like,
They've known since they were young.
Yeah.
not too young though, because Xehanort
Like
came
teen.
to Asylum when they were teen. But I'm saying like he, because you grow up thinking you're straight from like the beginning, because your parents give you blue things if you're a boy and pink things if you're a girl, and you're hetero and whatever. Expectations. But then it's like you meet that one person, or you see that one person that like changes everything. That was definitely Xehanort.
We're done with all of the major characters, but now we have to talk about some of the others. Literally, they're labeled others.
Others.
And you know what? I'm not even going to talk about all of them because...
Talk about the Traverse Town prostitute that got murdered in front of Sora.
Yes,
Only in the manga.
Only in the manga, though. We have to talk about these three together. We have to talk about Hainer, Pence, and Olette.
In that order.
I love their glow up in KH3.
Oh god, they look so good. It's literally just because they're wearing autumn colors instead of like summer.
I want Pence's outfit. I'm chubby, I can rock it.
Yeah, me too.
I love Pence's outfit, but when it came to Hainer and Olette, I was just like, I missed the whole aesthetic that they had in Kingdom Hearts 2, where Hainer was green and Pence was red and Olette was orange. Like they all became black and red, and they kind of blended in together too much for me. But it was also Pence's outfit was bomb.
But it was also a thing of like, time has passed. It's now a different season.
We're on the same team.
Yes.
I don't know. I could see Hainer and Olette being a thing, and then maybe Pence like.
Pence has a hot dog.
Pence has a hot dog. His sexuality is food. No fat shaming here.
So talking about me?
Hey, me too. But
Hey.
I could see Pence being bi. Like one of them has to be able to swing both ways.
One of them.
At least one.
But I mean, like, it's kind of tough for Olette because it's like there's no other girl, like at least for the majority of the series. I know she meets like Namine and Shion and all them like at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, and they all hang out, whatever. But like until then,
technically speaking, there is whatever the name of the girl, Fujin, Raijin, one of them.
Yeah, Fujin.
Oh, yeah, but like they're not friends.
They're not friends.
She showed up once.
So it's hard to be able to be like, oh yeah, like I can't just straight up be like, oh yeah, Olette's into girls, because it's like she's never really like
interacted with a girl.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think she and Hainer would be cute.
Yeah.
Maybe Hainer's also secretly gay and he's gonna break Olette's heart.
Maybe. Yeah.
Write it.
The last guy we have to talk about, and he's not even an important character yet, but we have to bring up the final Riku, Crossbow Riku, Yozora.
Oh my god. Well,
I thought we weren't doing Final Fantasy characters.
Ooh. I'm sorry, did you mean... Do a Google search here. Did you mean Noctis from Final Fantasy 15?
Noctis ad Callum?
God.
Did you mean Noctis from Tekken 7?
He is just Noctis. Noctis with...
Like, literally.
Noctis with the voice actor from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
There's not enough. Like, what we've been calling baby in the sense of underdeveloped. But I mean, there was that Sparkle girl.
There is that Sparkle girl, yeah.
And like, I don't know, maybe, but it's too soon to tell.
I hate this goddamn series. How many times have I said that today?
Enough.
Hate, love it.
But you know what? That's actually, I was wrong. You haven't said it enough. Because, hey, we're done. Final thoughts. about Kingdom Hearts as a series and the characters within it. Smash, you first. It sounds like you have something to say.
I most certainly do. I have to go now. My planet needs me. Smash Ghost Dad went back to his home planet.
You sure did. Anyway, Kaze, what are your final thoughts on this series and the characters within?
Okay, so do you want a short version or a long version?
You know what? Hit us with the long version.
All right. I mentioned it earlier that like I made up Manami and her whole story to be a condensed version, or not even a version. It's like an alternate thing. Like we take this story as like a guideline, and it's just like, you know, we challenged ourselves to like not make a million characters with a million backstories with a million, you know, things to worry about. No time travel. You know, and it's like, I love this series. You know, when I first got into it, the first game, watching that opening cutscene gave me goosebumps that I've never experienced in any other form of media. Like,
how have we not talked about the songs?
Utada Hikaru's Queen. That's all we need to know.
Yeah.
Skrillex.
But just like watching that opening cutscene, like made me feel like that magic was something I've never, ever, ever had with anything else.
Yeah.
Not even Fullmetal Alchemist, as much as I love it. But so like, it had such a strong beginning, and like, you guys know like of how Kingdom Hearts was like concepted, right? Like literally.
Elevator pitch.
A Disney and a Square employee were stuck in an elevator together. Not a joke. And they just
No, that is real.
They just like came up with this story, like
not the whole story, but the idea,
the concept.
It's like, hey, what if your Final Fantasy? You got your Final Fantasy in my Disney. You got your Disney in my Final Fantasy.
Exactly.
Hey, wait a minute.
It was that easy, and I think that was what the charm of Kingdom Hearts was, and that's what brought everybody in back in the early 2000s, because it's like, you know, back then it was like, this is what we're offering, because I think when they made the first game, they weren't even expecting it to get this big.
No, okay, on that note, have you heard about the secret ending to KH1? How all those lines and stuff is stuff they wrote down, they just came up with, and then they had to like find ways to insert them into scripts later. It's like shit.
No, but I totally believe it.
Yeah.
And so like, you know, it was one of those things where they presented this game and we just accepted it for what it was. We used our imaginations to fill in the holes. But then, you know, they're like, oh, hey, we got something here. We're going to make more. And then ever since, every game that came out afterward was like, okay, we're going to answer these questions. But in answering those questions, they only made more. And so it was just, you know, over the course of 14 years and like endless questions at this point, I just feel that like, I don't want to say that it lost its charm, but it's definitely taken a different direction. And to a lot of people, it got too confusing. You know, like literally a solid chunk of the lore is on a mobile game that, you know, like, I don't know about how it is in the East, but over here in the West, people don't take mobile games seriously. Yep. So it's like they're missing like this solid chunk of lore that is very
the secret ending of 3 will not affect you at all if you don't know the game.
Exactly. And so it's just like, I feel, you know, the short version that I would have given you, Cheese, is that I like to think that Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories and Kingdom Hearts 2 was the story, and then it ended there, and everything after has been a really crazy fun fever dream that you just gotta kind of take and like take it for what it is. Try to use that mentality of when the game first came out. You just take it as it is. You don't ask questions, because the moment you start asking questions and questioning, you know, what's this, what's that, you're gonna go down a rabbit hole that you're gonna be stuck in for months. What can I say? I wouldn't have made an OC and all this story that I'm doing right now if I didn't freaking love it. So
yeah. I think that's the most important thing to take away, is no matter how much we've talked shit about it this whole time, at least 2 of the 3 people here adore Kingdom Hearts 2 every bit it has.
But, you know, I feel that a lot of people agree with us in the sense of like, you know, it's crazy now, especially
now. But that's
now.
part of the fun.
But it's fun. Exactly.
Kaze, do you want to plug anything while you're here?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to say thanks for having me on here. But yeah, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Kaze IRL, but hi, I'm Manami, the VTuber. I'm the Kingdom Hearts OC that does, things differently around here. But you can find me on Twitch and Twitter as Manami VT. And yeah, that's about it.
Watch her play Slime Rancher. It's really
Yes, Slime Rancher.
Yes. Or Spyro, or
Spyro.
Pokemon.
and stuff. I watched a lot. Like Minami's one of the VTubers I watch consistently. So
Good.
Aw, thank you.
Smash, do you have anything to plug?
yeah, you can find me at Smash Ghost. Do on YouTube and Twitter and Twitch. Sometimes when I feel like it, maybe.
Sometimes.
And Cheese, do you have anything to plug before I send this out?
As you can see, like in the description of the video, because this will go on YouTube at some point. But as you can see, you can find all the social medias there. But if you need me to actually speak them to you into your ears, you can find me on Twitter at Big Beef and Cheese. That's spelled CHEEZ. If you want to follow the VTuber accounts, you follow at VTuber Cheese, CHEEZ. And if you want to watch me on Twitch sometimes, like 4 times a week, you follow me, twitch.tv/CheeseVT.
So the biggest unanswered question that Kingdom Hearts has, in my opinion, and you may agree or disagree, why do they call it oven when you oven?